Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you have had a great weekend. Yesterday was Monday. Hope you had a great day on yesterday, and hope you're having a great day today. Today is the day that Allah has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. If your day is not going good or whatso have you, just remember tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your trust and faith in Allah. He will see you through. He will see you through. And I could bear witness to that. Getting into the topic for this video, I've been seeing stuff online that hasn't really surprised me. It's just been bothering my spirit, and I'm going to speak on it. There was a video. I don't know if y'all had peace and blessings to you too, my brother. Peace and blessings. I don't know if y'all have seen this video, but it was on Facebook. It may have been on X. I know it was on IG. There was, I guess, it was a wedding, and there was this sister, um, young black lady. She was grinding her behind. I guess this dude was Hispanic. Was grinding on his private area. She was bent down and she was grinding on him. I think they were at a wedding because everyone was dressed up. So I believe it was a wedding. And so out of nowhere, her little boy, he could have been maybe about, I'd say probably about 5 or 6. He saw this and he pushes his mother away from the dude and he pushes the dude. And so the guy was like, "Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad, bro, my bad, my bad." And so this little boy is visibly upset, visibly upset. But do you think the mother tried to console him and say, "Hey, I'm sorry," or anything like that? No. She sat her ass down and it was other adult women around her and they start laughing. This little boy is crying his eyes out, and you have adult women. I don't know if there's his aunties or what so have you, cousins, but they started laughing. They thought this was funny, and this little boy is upset. Now I know stuff that's that's videos that's on the internet on social media. I know that they're skits. I know some of these are just skits, whatever. But this is a bad skit. I don't think this was a skit. If it was, they something's wrong with them. Something's wrong because this little boy was visibly upset. He was crying, crying his eyes out, and it's like business as usual. The mother and the other women around there, they start laughing while this little boy's crying. Now I know this video is about black people want integration, want to be close to white people, and want acceptance from white people, and they do. They do. But this is just one of those things that ties into the title for the video. I'm seeing now, with this election coming up and in a few months, black people are swearing allegiance to Joe Biden. I'm seeing it so much. They just love this devil. They love him. So Joe Biden, go out and vote. We got to get Trump out of office. We got to get Trump out of office. Trump is the boogeyman. Trump, Trump, Trump. Vote Joe Biden. 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 We got to get him out of office. We got to get Trump out of office. We can't let Trump come back in office. We can't let him come back in office. So vote blue no matter who. We don't want freedom. Too many of our people do not want freedom. We still want to integrate with white people and gain their acceptance. The video I spoke about, that was just unbecoming behavior. This is what Dr. Claude Anderson has been speaking about for decades. Anything for a click, anything for a view, anything to make yourself famous. I'm tying this all in with acceptance from white people. We would do anything for a Klondike bar. Too many of our people would do anything for a Klondike bar, be stupid, act an ass. We won't build with each other. We think the white man's ice is colder than our ice. Ice is ice. Ice is frozen. Ice is going to be cold, whether it's our ice or their ice. What makes their ice so much special, so much more special? Dr. Umar Johnson was absolutely right. I don't agree with him on everything, particularly the reparations conversation and this thing going on with Diddy. I don't agree with him on those things, but I will say this: he is absolutely right when he says that Black people do not want freedom. They want to be close to white people and gain their acceptance. He is absolutely right. You got Black people now. I want to go out to the suburbs. They have better schools. White people, their neighborhoods are much better than ours. Yeah, but okay, okay. But why is that? That's exactly right. That's that Stockholm Syndrome. You hit the nail right on the head. But why is that? Is it because maybe in government they have more access to money than the lower income Black neighborhoods do? Why not stay and build up your neighborhood? Stay and build it up. Not all Black neighborhoods are bad, by the way. You have a few, but there are many that aren't bad. There are many that are there's Black people that keep their homes up, keep their grass up, keep their property up. But they don't get the attention because all you see is run down buildings, run down houses, boarded up or burnt out houses with the grass, grown as high as trees. That's all we see. There are a lot of beautiful Black neighborhoods. My hometown of Detroit, out here in Oakland, the ones that haven't been gentrified, that is. White people saw the value in quote unquote the hood, but many of us didn't. We wanted to go out to the suburbs, be close to Whitey, go to their schools. And how's that working out for us? They moved out the suburbs to come to the city to get away from us, back to the hood. They built it up. Why couldn't we have done that? We didn't have to sell grandma's house. We could have kept up Big Mama's house and the other houses in the area. But we chose to tuck tail and flee because we've been conditioned, we've been programmed. Chattel slavery runs deep. Exactly right. We've been programmed. We've been programmed. That's exactly right. PTSS. Dr. Joy DeGruy wrote a book years ago called Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome. And it's serious. It is serious. PTSD is serious. PTSS is serious. It's serious. It's ingrained in just ingrained in us. And it goes down from generation to generation to generation. We don't want freedom. We don't want freedom. My cousin posted it was like a animate kind of like an animated painting or pictures, that is. But it was about Idlewild, Michigan. Idlewild, Michigan. Idlewild, Michigan was a resort. It was a summer resort in the northwestern corner of Michigan. I forgot what county. But from the 1920s to 1964, it was a playground for Black people because segregation. We couldn't go to city parks in Detroit or parks in the state of Michigan, or it was segregation. We had to build our own and go to our own parks. which is not a bad thing, by the way. I'm not saying that the Jim Crow laws were good. I'm not saying that. But segregation taught us togetherness. It taught us to build our own and be self sufficient. That's one thing it taught us. And I'm going to touch on it here in a minute. But Idlewild, Michigan, like I said, it was in the northwestern corner of Michigan, um, was a park. It was a playground for Black people in the summertime. Madam C.J. Walker owned property in Idlewild, Michigan. She owned property there. And people would come there. They had parks, they had nightclubs. It was like their version of Atlantic City, but it was in the Midwest. It was in the northwestern corner of Michigan. And it flourished from the 1920s to 1964. It was a playground for Black people in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and for a couple of years in the 60s. But mainly its heyday was from the 20s to probably about the 50s. And my cousin posted it, and she posted pictures of Black people just having a good time, couples holding hands, people shopping, and just having fun, just having wholesome, clean fun. And I did some research because I had never um, known anything about Idlewild, Michigan. And I did some research on it, and I was like, wow, that was our playground. And I was saddened because you know what killed Idlewild, Michigan? Want to know what killed it? The 1964 Civil Rights Act that struck down segregation. We abandoned Idlewild, Michigan, and we went to the white people's parks. We abandoned our own jewel, which became uh, a ghost town with weeds, a ghost town just abandoned. Weeds ran it over. Nature took it over. And it's a damn shame because we don't have anything to show for it now, just the memories. It wasn't passed down. Idlewild, Michigan should still be there. That area, that park should still be there. That should still be there. But we thought the white man's ice was colder, so we went to the white parks because now we free. But are we really free? Are we really? That's what happened to Idlewild, Michigan. And not just that, Idlewild, Michigan, but um, look what happened to Hastings Street. Even though, yeah, that was government. Hastings Street was in Detroit. It was like Detroit's version of Harlem. You had areas of Baltimore. Baltimore had their own version of Harlem. So did Philly. So did Chicago. Many cities. Wilmington, North Carolina. Many cities around this country. But we abandoned our jewels, our playgrounds, because the white man's ice was colder. We had our own shops on Hastings Street. When I was a little boy in church, I used to hear the deacons and mothers talk about Hastings Street and our pastor. They said they had plenty of shops, black owned grocery stores, black owned shops, whatever, theater, movie theaters. We abandoned them. And the ones that weren't abandoned, white people burned them down. We all know about Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We all know in Wilmington, North Carolina, they had their own Black Wall Street. The Klan burnt that down. It was just many towns, black towns in Georgia, they flooded them out. Lake Lanier in Georgia was a black town. That lake is over a buried black town. Look it up. Rosewood, Florida. Thank you for pointing that out, brother. One of my cousins told me that we had distant relatives that were residents of Rosewood, Florida. I have to look that up. Seneca Village, Oscarville. Thank you. Many others. I believe it was an area in LA. LA had their own version of Harlem. Out here in Oakland, if white people didn't burn them down, then we abandoned them. We were our own worst enemies. Yes, Black Wall Street was horrible. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, Wilmington, North Carolina. That all that was horrible. Yes, Lake Lanier, I get it. Horrible. That was done by the enemy. But we became our own enemy when segregation was ended, and we said, you know what? We could go over there because their parks are better than ours. Their businesses are better than ours. You know, we can abandon the Negro Leagues and now we go play with white boys. It's greater over there. And what happened to the Negro Leagues? What happened? What happened? What happened to the Negro Leagues? Your great talent, the Jackie Robinsons, the Satchel Pages, Larry Dobies, they all went over. Roy Campanellas, they all went over to Major League Baseball. Again, the white man's ice was colder. And Dr. Claude Anderson has been speaking about this for decades. The minister Louis Farrakhan, God bless him, may Allah continue to bless him and his family. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has spoke about this many times. Before him, the messenger, Elijah Muhammad, said we should build our own, have our own. Stop relying on a white man to give us jobs, to give us money. Stop depending on him. That's what the most honorable, the messenger, Elijah Muhammad, has said it decades ago. He said this: Black man, Black woman, build your own. Do for self. That's what the messenger Elijah Muhammad was saying. He's been saying it for decades before the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is just continuing that message. Now, Brother Malcolm said it. But where did they get it from? The messenger. Where did he get it from? Master Farad. Master Farad Muhammad. That's where he got it from. And he don't get he don't get the credit that he deserves. Neither does the messenger. But that message had to come from somewhere. It didn't just appear to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan or Brother Malcolm or Muhammad Ali or Dr. Khalid Muhammad or Brother Malcolm. It didn't just appear to them. It was passed down. Greatness was passed down. The Nation of Islam is a perfect example of that. That's why I love and appreciate them so much. And forgive me, I know I'm pronouncing Master Muhammad Fard Muhammad's name incorrectly. Forgive me. I have to practice more on that. It was just spur of the moment. Master Fard Muhammad. That was the messenger's teacher. But again, like I say, we have to have our own. Look at the Asian community. Look at the Hispanic community. Look at the Middle Eastern community. Dearborn, Michigan is a great example of what I'm saying. Chinatown out here in San Francisco and in New York City, uh, Chinatown in Chicago and in Philly, Little Havana in Miami, Little what's it in LA? Koreatown in LA. Little Tehran, isn't that in LA? I believe it's Little Tehran. My point is, they have their own communities. Their dollars circulate. They spend money, it circulates. They spend money with one of their own, in turn, their dollars circulates because it helps build that business. That dollar circulates around their community. It does not leave their community. I think I heard that the black dollar is only in the black community for 30 minutes. Is that correct? 30 minutes or so? 30 minutes? A half hour? Really? Oh, good point. That's another thing that bothers me too. I hate that really ticks me off too. When you go on these black businesses, do not, do not, I repeat, do not ask them for a discount. Do not ask them for a hookup. Do not do that. Do not do that. If they want to give you a discount or a hookup, let that be let that be their decision. Let that be their decision. Don't go in there expecting a hookup. Don't go in there expecting a discount. Don't go in there and tell them, hey, you know what? Could you lower? Don't do that. That's not right. You would not do it in the Asian business. You would not do it in the white business. You would not do it in another man's business. So don't do it to black businesses. Do not do that. You are hurting their business. When you do that, you're hurting their business. It's disrespectful and it's wrong. If they have something that you cannot afford, buy something that you can afford. I'll come back later when I have more money and I can afford this item. Hey, brother, that's okay. I could let that be their decision. Do not go in there expecting them to hook you up. That is so damn disrespectful. I hate that. Oh, because you would not do it in a white man's business or Asian man's business. They would tell you to get your ass out of their store and call the cops on you. And we should be referring people to our businesses. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Yes, we should. Before I go any further, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. But let's respect our black businesses. The main enemy of black businesses, I hate to say it, is black people. They're the main and they're the main detractors of black businesses are black people. It's it's the truth. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Black people are the main detractors of black businesses. We will shut down a black business by not supporting them. I'm not saying I've been perfect. You know, I need to do better. We all need to do better. I'm in that category. I need to do better. I pray, Allah, please allow me to do better. We are all work in progress. I am not perfect by any means. So I try my best to do better. But when you know better, you do better. So I'm learning. I'm not where I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I was not where I was not in the position that I am now. I'm a lot better now than I was then. And I still got a long way to go. And I will admit that on my own channel. Your brother will admit it. I'm not perfect by any means, by any stretch of imagination. I'm just learning as I go along and I'm sharing it with y'all that we all need to do better. I'm just sharing the information that I've learned over the years. But I'm by any means not perfect. And I bring that up because An individual I spoke about 2 months ago was no, I'm off today, so um I was off today, so I just took the time. But I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, thank you. But in any event, an individual I spoke about 2 months ago, back in October. Yeah, it was October. Former friend of mine sent me some disturbing messages. I don't know why this person. I had to block this person, but they threatened me. They talked about my past. Well, you did this. You cried over a girl that broke up with you. Okay, yeah, okay, I did. Okay, that was 20 years ago. 20 years ago. We're not going to bring up the fact that your wife, your first wife, you've been married 4 times. I thought it was 5 times. But this person's been married 4 times. His first wife cheated on him and got pregnant. He cried like a baby. His uncle told him the truth about how his life is, how he need to get his life together, get his act together. He boohooed and cried about it. But I'm a crybaby? Okay. He is a black man. Well, I'm sorry. His skin color is black. He's about as dark as the cream of wheat man, but he hates black people. He hates black people. As a matter of fact, he's been bugging me to come on this channel and debate me, but I said I'm not going to do it because it's going to get ugly and he's going to embarrass himself because he's going to tell lies about black people, and many of you who tune in are going to get pissed off as well as I am. Who is it? It's a dude that I was friends with, man. We were in the military together. The reason why we parted ways is because I just got sick and tired of his disrespect for black people. What did it was, do y'all remember the incident at the dock in Mobile, what was it, Montgomery, Alabama, with the black people and the white people when the dock worker was attacked and they came to this man's defense? Y'all remember that back in the summer? Well, he made a comment that niggas came together like niggatron, and that um that's what he said. Yeah, niggas came together like niggatron. He said what they did was wrong. It didn't take all of them to jump on those white people, even though they started with, it was 7 of them, more than that, on this one black man. The Montgomery Brawl, the Alabama Slammer. Yes, sir. That's it. He said it was niggas come together like niggatron, and me and another brother, we like, man, we can't. Niggatron. No, it was black people coming together to defend a black man. Then he made some other disparaging comments that black people were the first slave owners. Um, Black people can be racist, even though I broke it down for this medicine ball head jackass that black people cannot be racist. We have no power. We don't own anything. We own less than 1%. We have less than 1% of wealth in this nation. We don't own a damn thing. We cannot make laws telling white people you cannot use this restroom, you cannot eat here, you cannot you. We don't discourage them or try to intimidate them for voting. We don't blow up their churches. So how can the victims of hate and racism be racist? It makes no damn sense. And I explained that to this jackass, but he's still, well, we can't be racist. Okay, man, whatever. Whatever. He dates, he loves his white women. And that's great on him. I mean, to each their own. But don't sit up here and shit on black people. And he shits on black women too. And I'm not going for it. I was not going for it. I was not going for it. Especially somebody who's been married 4 or 5 times, who dates white women who are in their 60s collecting Social Security. You get fired from every job that you ever had, almost got kicked out the military. So, but whatever. I digress. Again, the self hate. Yup. Oh, Lord. Self hate. I cannot, in good consciousness, I cannot, in good consciousness, be friends with somebody who disrespects and hate black women, who hates black people. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I have a friend who dates white women. That's his preference. He's engaged to a white woman. I don't agree with interracial dating, whatever. That's me. But I respect this man, a friend of mine. He's back in Detroit. He dates he is engaged to a white lady. I respect him because he sticks by his guns and he's consistent. He don't disparage black women. He don't disparage black people. Big difference. He has a white fiance, but he does not disrespect black women and he does not disrespect black people at all. So I have the utmost respect for him and he's a great friend of mine. But this medicine ball head jackass that I was friends with in the military, we're done. I can't do it. I had to block him because he was saying, I'm just not gonna tolerate it. I'm almost 50 years old. I can't do the back and forth thing. The extremely long text messages he's been sending me. I can't do that. I can't do it because he's bringing off white white female energy. He's a Karen. He's a male. He's a male version of a white female Karen. That's what he is. And since he loves Karens, it makes sense that he would have their energy. But enough about him. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications of when I do videos on here. But like I said, we don't want freedom. We don't. No, he doesn't have a YouTube channel. He has a Facebook, but I deleted him off of Facebook. I blocked him. But he does Facebook videos about politics and stuff like that. Nobody watches them, but whatever. But I'm not gonna talk about that dude. But anyway, or that male female Karen. Any event, you know, we gotta do better. Many of our people do not want freedom. They do not want freedom. They don't want it. They will compromise. Um, they will compromise another black person or our people to be close to white people. Could you imagine if President Obama, imagine this, could you imagine if President Obama signed a bill that sent white men to jail, that sent white men to prison by the thousands, breaking up white families for committing drug offenses? Many of them, would die in prison. Could you imagine if Barack Obama did that? Signed a crime bill like Jim Crow Joe did in 1994 when he was a senator. Could you imagine if Senator Obama did that? Would white people vote him in as president? Would he get the white vote? Riddle me that. Would he get the white vote if Barack Obama, when he was senator in Illinois, if he would have signed a bill sending white men to prison by the thousands, breaking up white families and white women too, and then he ran for president in 2008, do you think he would have become president of the United States and been reelected? What say you? Hell no. But yet, hell, some black people wouldn't even vote for him. That's wrong. He did those white people like that. That nigga did that. He should have done that. But black people will vote. They will swear. They will swear by Joe Biden. Jim Crow Joe. They call him Uncle Joe. That cracker ain't none of your damn uncle. Stop it. But they did the same thing with Bill Clinton. Feel good Clinton. They did the same thing with Bill, with that creep. They love Bill Clinton. Hell, when he ran in 92, you had many black people call him the first black president. Y'all remember that? I do. He the first black president because he came on the Arsenio Hall show and played his saxophone. That's why he was the first black president, because he came on MTV telling young people to rock the vote. That's why he's the first black president. Really? Paul Mooney did. Oh Lord, Paul. Rest in peace, Paul Mooney. But brother, you was wrong for that one. The first black president, that devil. And what did the first black president do 2 years after y'all elected him? He signed that crime bill into legislation, which built more prisons than any president in US history and sent black men to prison by the thousands. That's what the first black president did for you. And the devil who wrote that crime bill is in office now, y'all Uncle Joe. But we gotta get Trump out of office. We can't let Trump come back in office. Trump's racist. What the hell is Joe Biden? This is your God now? I'm not saying Trump's a saint. I'm not a fan of Trump. Yeah, Trump's a racist devil, but Joe Biden's a racist devil too. So there's no such thing as the lesser of two evils. Evil is evil. And you have people who are in the church who are buying into this BS. That's what bugs and bothers me. They are buying into this BS. That irks me because they know better. They know better. They know better. But again, Trump's a racist devil. Joe Biden's a racist devil. I'm not voting for either. Whether y'all do or not, that's on you. But let me just say this. Republicans don't have our back. The Democrats don't have our back. Two wings of the same bird. That racist white bird. Two wings of it. Both are wicked. They don't have our back. One to tell you they don't like you, they ain't gonna do nothing for you. One will come as your friend, will try to act like they're showing sympathy for you. We want the acceptance, and then they want to put the arm around you. Meanwhile, they had a knife in your back. That's the Democratic Party. I heard that. I heard that. After I voted for Obama his second term, I regretted it. 2 years after, because that's when you had Ferguson. You had, well, before his reelection, it was Trayvon Martin. That was in early 2012. And then after he got reelected, you had Ferguson. You had the Freddie Gray incident, the Sandra Bland incident, that terrorist skunk down in South Carolina murdered those non-parishioners at the Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston. It was just too much. Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, Eric Gardner. It was just too much. And he did not hold these police departments accountable. He did not hold them accountable for what they were doing, killing black men and women. He did not. Renisha McBride in Dearborn Heights, Michigan, outside Detroit. Her car broke down. She went to this house to ask for assistance, and she was gunned down. It was just too much. And I was like, what? Why did I? But what really did it for me is that he signed the Equality Act allowing gay marriage. He gave them their tangibles, but did do nothing for us when our people were getting slaughtered in the streets. He didn't do a damn thing for black people. So yeah, I regretted voting for him the second time around after I did it. And if he ran again, I wouldn't vote for him. That's my word. Henry Louis Gates incident, yup. That happened right after he got elected. That happened in 2009. I remember that. Had a beer with that was so looking back now, that was the dumbest. Had a beer with the police officer. You invited him to the White House to have a beer with them. Looking back now, that was wow. Oh, crazy. But in any event, I think I made my point known. I think I got my point across on here. I'm gonna hop off of here. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Be safe. Be safe, be safe, be safe out here. This is the season of good tidings and joy to all men, you know, joy to the world. This is the season of Jesus, so they say. This is a season of good tidings and joy. And we know we're supposed to love everybody because it's Christmas. It's Christmas. Yeah. Meanwhile, people are killing themselves, being robbed, being murdered over Christmas presents, over money. This is the worst time of year for crime. It's the Christmas season. The season of Jesus. Good tidings and joy. Yeah, okay. You have more robberies, more burglaries, more suicides, more murder during this time of year than any other time. Look it up. So, with that being said, if you're out here Christmas shopping, whatever you're doing, be extra, triple, quadruple safe. Beware and be aware of your surroundings. Satan is busy now more than ever before. Brothers as well as sisters, be safe out here. Please be safe. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I love y'all. Continue to support my podcast and YouTube channel. Brother needs your love and support. I can't do without y'all. I love y'all and God bless. And like I always say, we don't have to agree, but let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Let's do that, y'all. And let's use logic in our disagreements. Let's use logic and common sense. That's all I ask. Take care. I love y'all. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.